Well, hello, everybody. It's been quite a while. I don't think I've been on the air, wow, since the snow started. And that was about 3 weeks ago. And I miss all of y'all, but I had to come back. I have two phenomenal women that I'm going to be interviewing today. And the first one is already here waiting in the back room. So I just can't wait to bring her out. But first of all, I got to do a little housekeeping. Got to give a shout out to our partners, GV Entertainment, Oda Enterprises, and Gray Tax Service. I always start my show off with a scripture. For today, we're going to talk about gifts. And I decided to do a scripture on gifts because these women that we're going to have on today, they're so talented and they have so many gifts and they're using them in the right way. So the scripture is from Romans 12, chapter 12, verse 6 through 8. And it says, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophecy in accordance with your faith. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to be led, do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, do it cheerfully. So I'm about to introduce a first guest. I'm just so excited. I'm going to bring her on right now. We call her OG. When you meet her and when you hear some of her music, you're going to know why I coined this show, the OG Experience. Good evening, OG. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity. I'm doing all right. How have you been?
How is it in Cali?
It's nice. I mean, it's
weather.
It's like it's sunny. I mean, I'm from the Midwest originally, so like it's still such a weird thing to see that it's February and there's no snow on the ground. But I'm getting used to it slowly but surely.
Well, the past couple of weeks, I mean, we have been overwhelmed with snow. I haven't been on the air in like 2 or 3 weeks, and we had snowstorms consistently. It's been just crazy. So you better welcome that and enjoy it while you have it.
Try to.
I think I'm going to start the show off. I didn't start off with music this time because I wanted to get right into it. But I think I'm going to start off with one of your songs. And what I like about you, there's so many things that I like about you, but I really love those gospel roots that you have. So since this is a Fun Day Sunday, we're going to start off. This is OG. Listen to it. Listen to the different parts because you're doing the whole thing, right?
Yes.
Joyful, joyful, Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, Eli, as the sun of the melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away, drive it away, giver of the Lord to gladness, fill us with the light of day, light of day. Joy.
Yes, if that's not the way to start off a show, joyful, joyful, and we are indeed joyful. And I'm just joyful to have you on here. That was beautiful. You did all the parts. How did you learn to harmonize like that?
Interestingly enough, the first like memories that I have of harmony come from a prayer group that my mom used to take us to when we were younger. I think that was like the first time that I recognized the idea of like singing something besides the melody, and it sounds good and it sounds like it's supposed to be there. Mm-hmm. So I think what's interesting is the fact that like my sense of music has always started from a place of faith. That's where my interest from it came to me, I guess. Like as I started to get more into music, like that was something that I would play with. Like I started playing the viola in middle school, which is an interesting instrument in that like it never has the melody ever. And started getting more into it in terms of like a vocal jazz choir that we had in high school. Mm-hmm. In college, I got into an a cappella group in which like I had to arrange harmonies. So yeah, I mean, it was a developing thing over most of my life, but it started with like prayer groups and like singing hymns before it started.
Which is great, And, for those of you who don't know her, I'm going to read a quick bio that she gave. But first of all, I want to preface it with something. When you think about when I first heard her sing, I remember when I don't know if you've heard of Travis Green at all. He's a gospel singer. Okay, Travis Green is just blown up. Anyway, he's a gospel singer. And I heard a song that he sung when he came out about 8 years ago called The Anthem. And I love doing interviews on the show. So what I did, I said, I'm going to have to find this man. I'm going to have to find him, interview him. Now he's in North Carolina or somewhere. Anyway, I reached his people and got him on here and interviewed him. And the week after that, or 2 weeks after that, he was invited to a church in Chicago. Since that, he's won all kinds of awards, stellar awards. He's absolutely blown up. He's one of the biggest gospel. Now he's a minister and a gospel artist, but he's one of the biggest ones out. Such a nice guy. When I heard your music, the first time I heard it, the sound, the texture, the runs, it was just unbelievable. But I want everyone else to know a little bit about you. This is a bio that you gave me, kind of a brief bio. So it says, as a first generation Nigerian American growing up in a small town in Wisconsin, OG sought out an identity that honored her roots, but fit with her surroundings. One she would ultimately find through music. Through early gospel influences, she found a love for harmonization, which she could take with her to Northwestern University to become an avid a cappella and jazz vocalist and performer. Her multi-harmony arrangements is getting attention. I mean, when I heard it, I was hooked. With influence of Stevie Wonder, Nina Simone, D'Angelo, her arrangements are crafted around her unbelievable, distinct voice and range, and truly does bring a new meaning to sonic harmony. I want to welcome you to the Voices of Change on Intellectual Radio. Welcome so much, OG. I am just so happy to have you here. And you guys, if you get a chance, go to Instagram, because she has a lot of clips on there. I'm going to play a few of them here. But go to Instagram and look up OGI Ifediora. You could probably find it with just OGI, and listen to this lady's music. Listen to her runs. I see some of the guests on here that are listening in. I know Dennis, he's saying hello, and he's a music director all over Chicago at many, many churches. Also looks like I see someone else here that I think you probably know. Who's watching also. And there's someone, Gail Hall, I'm not sure who she is, but thank you so much. Hey, Constance, thank you so much for tuning in. This is my sister, Makiba. She's watching. Thank you, Makiba, for tuning in. We're going to start with the interview, and I'm going to ask her just a few questions. So you kind of said you had a gospel influence, and I love that. I do gospel too, but what first got you into music? Did you start off thinking that as a little girl, I sing real good and I'm going to be a musician?
It was a winding road, honestly. Okay. I think like from a young age, I knew that I gravitated towards singing. I would do it as often as I could. But I think as I started growing older, like I got into that phase of like, oh, I don't know if this is cool. Like, like peer pressure of like, oh, am I doing too much? Maybe I should just try to be as like a chill about things as I can. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't really a part of my life again until I like went to college. And I decided to be in that a cappella group that like was mentioned in the bio. And I think me being in an environment of people who were so like open in terms of like showing your talents and like exploring things that aren't necessarily I don't know, like the practical things of like study, do the work, like because I was on the path to be a lawyer, like before all of this. So to be in that environment, I think really fostered that love for music that I had kind of suppressed for such a long time. And yeah, I mean, being given that environment, I think I was able to like really hone in on my harmonization skills and like really trying to understand the music that I listen to. So I guess to shorten the answer, like it was the people around me, like in college, who like inspired me to really consider this as like an actual occupation.
Okay. And you did finish in poli-sci or pre-law or something?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So you got your undergrad and then you said, okay, I'm gonna take faith and I'm gonna go and do this music.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing now.
Yes, that's what's going
on. How would you describe the music that you typically create? And this is an interesting question because if you take the time to listen to her, I've heard everything from music I grew up with. I heard stuff from way back in the 70s, from fast forward in the 80s, 90s. You do Stevie Wonder, Nina Simone, Noah Jones. I mean, you've done them all. How do you describe your music? Are you creating something right now? Are you writing? Okay.
Yeah. It's always an interesting question to answer, like, because I think I like how you mentioned, like, I think I come from a lot of influences. So I think the biggest umbrella to put it under would be like R&B. I think that's what like tugs at me the most, in terms of like what like comes out of me. But definitely, like how I mentioned before, like there's got to be gospel influences in there too, because I think there's such an important thing about like using your voice as an instrument as well, which I think the gospel is such an important like genre in like making that such a clear like use, right? Like choirs and just having that be like such a foundational thing to the genre. So I mean, yeah, like I think I also dabble with like a little bit of jazz because that's where most of my friends at Northwestern kind of helped me figure out like what my sound could possibly sound like. So I think intersection of gospel, soul, like R&B and jazz, I think that's kind of where I'm living right now.
Wow, that's a 3 genres intersection. That's cool. That's good. If you could collaborate with anybody, living or not living anymore, who would you select to collaborate with on a song? I know this is a hard one.
I think it's got to be Stevie Wonder.
Oh my! I'm glad you mentioned that. Stevie Wonder. You would like to collaborate with him?
Yeah. I mean, because first of all, he's such a well of knowledge. He has found a way to influence almost every genre of American music that we see today. Yeah, I mean, like he was such a humanist in how he created his music. Like there was always such a joy and a light to how he like composed songs. So yeah, it's definitely him or Marvin Gaye. Those are
wow. Marvin and Stevie is so hard. I mean, you know, if I'm going to try to sing something, I'm not going to sing. I'm not touching Stevie. He's hard. He's all over the place. I'm going to play something where you're singing him and you're doing it so well. I wouldn't touch Stevie. No, I wouldn't touch him. It's like touching Aretha. Who sings that? I mean, so here you go. I want you guys to listen. This is one of the first ones that I heard and I'm like, oh my gosh, because I know how hard Stevie is. Here we go.
I'm serious views to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say might mean words as lasting. Might change your joy and laughter to tears and pain. It's that love's in me. Love today. Oh, don't delay. Say yours in right away.
Girl, you going? Oh my gosh! When you do, okay. So where'd you learn those runs from? Where'd you learn that? How did you your phrasing? Do you have a music? You don't have a music background, right? So how did you learn that? You self-taught?
Yeah, I mean, like in those periods where like I guess like I was in that mode of like, maybe I shouldn't like let people know that I like to sing. Like I want to be cool. Like when I was in that moment, what I would do instead is I would just listen to gospel musicians and like R&B singers for hours at home. Like music was such a personal thing for me to do. Like I would do it kind of in like in secret, and like I would listen to these runs over and over again, and like quietly like mimic them, um, just so I felt like I could like have it under my, I don't know, just to have for me, because it was never really my intention to perform those riffs. At least when I was first learning them, it was just like this is like a fun thing that I can do.
Wow.
So yeah.
You have been described as a musical genius in that article at Northwestern, and I understand why, because those runs and those riffs, they're not that easy, and you're doing it and turning corners and curling it up. I mean, what you do to that is like it's. I love it. Let me see. Here's another question: if you could open a show for any artist except the one that you mentioned that you're going to collaborate with, if you could open a show for any artist, who would it be?
Like in this current would be touring. It's a hard one. It's always a hard one, but like I think. Oh no, maybe like have you heard of like Moses Sumney?
No.
He's an incredible artist. I like started listening to him when I was in college.
What is genre? What is genre? What genre does he sing?
It's really hard to pinpoint. I think he's really, he takes from a lot of different things. But I think he was like an early person that like I listened to his music and I can't figure out how he does what he does.
And what's his last name? Moses
Sumney.
Oh, okay. Moses Sumney. Okay, that's a new one. I learned so much. Sumney. Okay.
Yeah, his music is so like cerebral and well thought out that it would be such a cool thing to like I don't know, like tour with him and like learn. You know, like he's super cool.
Wow.
I think he's super cool.
Now, you have a lot of fans, and I know this because when I read the article at Northwestern, and this is what you're actually doing now, you're putting your stuff out on Instagram, and you're gaining notoriety, just like Justin Bieber. Everybody knows he did that too. The Weeknd, ironically, which I didn't know, The Weeknd, he did it the same way. He put something out there, he coined himself The Weeknd, and got found. Drake was one of the ones who found him, and that's how he started. So when OG does the same thing on Instagram and you get really big and blow up, and I ask you to come back here, just 10 minutes. That's all I want. Because I know when you're busy, but just 10 minutes, come back and tell us this did really happen. Because I could see you doing that. Your voice is so unique.
That is so sweet. Thank you so much.
No, that's truth. From a wannabe to a musician, that is truth. What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for music in your career right now? If you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I'd be in law school right now, I think.
Okay.
I still have like the LSAT books that I was looking at. And sometimes I still look at it just to think of like what could have been like, because I was so close. I was so close to just doing that instead. But then the Instagram thing happened and like it just went 180. But yeah, I mean, I was a poli-sci major, legal studies minor, and like integrated marketing communications at Northwestern, which I love. Like I liked those curriculums. I felt like I learned a lot and like
and you liked law. And you liked law. Would you ever think about doing it again? Maybe. Would you ever think about going back to school?
Yeah, that's something that I've like considered after I've kind of done what I wanted to do. Just because I think, a law degree is super like diverse and versatile still. So maybe down the line, who's to say?
You know, and I could really see you doing that. I could see you doing this and gaining notoriety and blowing up and being a real badass, and then segueing that to law school and being an entertainment lawyer, and I mean really being in the business and then representing it. I could see you doing that.
Right, possibility, sure.
I'm gonna play something else. I just love your voice, so I'm gonna play something else. Let's see. I am going to play. This one surprised me. I didn't know that you did. Let me see. I'm looking at these and I want to make sure I pick the Noah Jones one. Because I love that song. Your music selection choice is awesome too. I hope this is it. Let's see.
I waited till I saw the sun. Don't know why I didn't come. Left by the house of fun, yeah. Don't know why I didn't come. Don't know why I didn't come. When I saw the break of day, wish that I could fly away. Instead of kneeling in the sand, catching teardrops in my hands, my heart beats drenched in white. 'Cause you'll be on my mind forever.
Boy, I really Noah Jones. I love her. That's beautiful. Okay,
Thank you.
let's go. You were so man. This girl's. I am just man. So you know what? It speaks volumes when, and I appreciate you giving me your bio, but it also speaks volumes when you listen to what other people say about you. And this interview from Northwestern, I thought I'm going to just pick out a few bullets. Let's see how the time is. Quick bullets and read them so they'll know even more about you. You said the summer before your senior year of college, OGI perfomed, I guess you graduated 19?
Yes.
Found herself bored and needing something to do. After deciding not to take the LSAT, she had over a month of free time before school started, so she made an Instagram account where she began posting mostly a cappella singing videos and has since gained thousands of followers. Awesome. And it's going to even double. I mean, it's going to triple. Just watch. And this was interesting. You said the way I would verify if my arrangement sounded right was through me recording my voice on GarageBand. Learning how to do that was really important in my development as a musician. It helped me to understand how to make harmonies. And then it goes on and on and on, but I really like this part. It said something about your character, which I thought was, despite her gift for music, Ifediora is the most gracious and humble person. And it's hard not to root for her because of that. Her humility may come from the fact that for a while, she didn't even think she was a good singer. I beg to differ from that. I think something like being humble is a matter of a person's character. And that's what was really resounding. This is what I really honed in on and focused on, because I thought, there's so many people out here with a lot of talent. Some of them don't know anything about humility. It's so good to hear a young person that's humble coming out the gate. Now, since you're a poli-sci major, what do you think about the political arena and kind of meshing that with your songwriting? As an artist and a poli-sci major, do you plan to address any of your music to address the societal ills of our time, like a Stevie Wonder would do or a Marvin Gaye?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting that you say that, but because I have like a little room that I keep. Well, I guess I'm actually in it right now, but where I try to dedicate like doing my work in like musical stuff, and on the wall I have two pictures. One is of Marvin Gaye and the other is of Nina Simone, who I kind of consider as being like a patrons of like Black conscious music, and like a people who were willing to bring awareness to the ills of like their surroundings through a platform in which they can like catch a lot of people's ears. So I think that's definitely something that I want to like tap into. It's I think that just like makes what I do feel a lot more like substantive and like with intention. So yeah, to answer the question, yes, I definitely want to make songs that speak to the times, because I think this particular time is a very clear like critical juncture. And there's a lot of things that need to be said. And I think it's the job of the artist to reflect what people need to hear about the world around them.
Oh my gosh, girl.
So I think that's a responsibility that I really want to take seriously.
Wow. I look so forward to when you start making music and when you start writing. Please keep in contact. I just can't wait to hear what you come out with. What is the best advice you've been given? I'm sure you've been given a lot of advice, but what's the best advice?
To just try.
Okay.
I think in that I'm someone who is very hesitant about the things that I do. And I think for me, all of this happened because I decided that I should just give my voice a shot, you know? It happened because I was willing to say, I want to have this outlet for myself, and if it's just for me, that's okay. You know, and I think the to be able to do something from like an intrinsic motivation is like the most important thing that like someone can learn to cultivate. So yeah, I think that's the thing that I'm trying to keep in my head. Just like there's no penalty in trying.
Right. And there's no limit. I mean, you can do whatever you put your mind to, you know, so that's, if you could change anything about the industry, and I know that you're not really, I mean, you're getting in it, but if you could change anything, what would it be?
The barriers that, like the monetary barriers that I think a lot of people have to overcome in order to kind of get the connections and like the outlets that they can in the industry, because I know that like what's been going on with me is very like unique, but it's sad to know that there are so many artists with such beautiful things to say, but they aren't able to have the platform to say it because they don't have the funds to have that platform. So I think that's one thing that I would change about it, because there are a lot of stories to tell, and it shouldn't be just the ones that have the money behind it for them to be heard, you know?
Wow. And this, well, it's not going to be the last question because my other interviewer is not quite here yet. So I want you to tell me, and you can make this as long as you want to, because also tell people how to reach you and, you know, on your Instagram and everything. But what's next for OG? What's next for you?
What's next for me? Developing. You know, I think like I am at a very early point in my career that I didn't even think this was going to happen to me. Like 2 years ago, there was no plan for this at all. And I think I'm slowly getting into the idea of being an artist and like understanding what that means and what I want it to mean and how I can execute on that. So I think the next thing for me is just putting the plan together, you know, which is something I'm super excited about, because I mean, that's how I navigate, like a plan, execute. That's what feels like good to me.
To plan and execute. You're a planner, which is good.
I try to be,
So I'm going to close your segment out with another song of yours. This is a song that goes way back, so I was really shocked that you even are familiar with it, and I hope I find it. Let me see. It is. You'll probably be surprised of what it is, but I loved it. Here it is. Right here we go. Right now.
I guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find love again. I came back to let you know that I think we and I can't let go. Some people go around the world and they may never find what they dream of. What you won't do, yeah, do love. You try everything and you can't get it,
I just want to know, how did you know that song? How did you know that song?
I mean, so I guess the person that's playing the guitar, Jacob Valdez, he's a good friend of mine. We went to Northwestern together.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the summer before I left for Los Angeles. I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like those are my jazz friends. Like they put me onto so many things that like I wouldn't have caught on to otherwise.
Wow.
So we're listening to that song, like it's a bop, like it's really good.
Yeah, and it suits your voice, and it suits. I mean, it just, and that was a really good song. So when I heard it, I'm like, what does she know about that? But anyway, our time is up. Our time is up. But I want to thank you so much for coming. You know, you being an up and coming, everyone listening within earshot, an up and coming Instagram sensation. You're going to put Justin Bieber to shame. And the weekend, if you happen to do Super Bowl, I'm sure you'll have better reviews. Not that he got bad ones. I'm not trying. I thought he was okay. Everybody else talking about it, I thought it was okay. But you know, it was him. So I am looking so forward to hearing about what you're going to do in the future. Best of luck to you. Thank you so much, OG. Thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have the rest of your Sunday. God
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we're going to set up we have another interview coming up shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to show some of your Sang Queen. That's right. What'd you tell her? Sang Queen. Hey, Makiba. And Carol, hey, how are you? It's so good having you listen. Boy, and you spelled her name so good. You're really good. And Liz, thank you so much. And Jessie, girl, I could not believe I heard from you. I've got to talk to you. I've got to get your number. And Liz, again, now I'm going to set up for the next person who we're going to interview. And this is an author. Man, she's already written several books and is going to write more. So I'm just too excited about her. I don't know how she's doing all this, but we're going to bring her on as soon as I set her up. Just give me just 1 minute. And let's bring her on. Here we go with Latrice Rice with a different time zone. What time zone are you in?
Eastern.
Where do you live? I thought you were in Michigan. Where do you live?
I'm in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan.
There. Oh, I don't know why I thought they were on. Okay. My bad.
That's okay.
Okay, guys, for you that don't know what we're talking about, Latrice just came on and she was on earlier and I'm like, Latrice, she goes, man, it's 7:42 my time. I'm like, 7. So I knew she was in a different time zone. Now, the young lady we talked to, she was in a different time zone too. She was in California and you're in Michigan. But I thought Michigan being so close, I'm thinking, well, she's probably in the same time zone. No, my mistake. But thank you very much. And I have to read Latrice's bio. So impressive. But even though you gave me this beautiful, nice bio, I just feel there's more to it. I'm going to read it anyway, then I'll let you talk about it. Latricia Rice is a mindset coach, licensed therapist, author, and motivational speaker. She's published 3 books: Gate to Life, You Choose the Life That You Shall Experience; Fruit Circle, Essential Fruit for Daily Living, and the foreword to the book, Faith, Failure, and Success. Ms. Rice has also released a ringtone called Thank You Haters, and is currently working on releasing 3 more books within this year. 3 in a year. All of you people who say you want to write a book, what are you waiting on? She also was a delegate for the city of Westlands, Precinct 5 for 2 years. Ms. Rice's motto is mouth that speak wisdom, inspire, and propel others into greatness. Help me welcome to Intellectual Radio's Voices of Change, Latricia Rice. Welcome.
Wow, that is awesome.
Thank you. But you got to tell me about this ringtone. What is that about? I'm curious.
Yes. So Thank You Haters is actually founded on Psalm 23, verse 5, right? What? It's founded on scripture. That's where the idea for it came from for me. When I thought about a lot of times youth get all upset when someone is hating on them or speaking negativity. So the song is designed to cause you to change negativity into positivity. And as you're singing a different tune, and you're talking about thank you haters, it's appreciating. And really your hater is not the person. It's the spirit they're allowing themselves to be operated by. So I appreciate you because Psalm 23 verse 5 says, thou will prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Mm-hmm. So therefore, in order for you to have a spread of blessings or all of these different things that God has for you on that table, there has to be haters present. So there's a need for every hater. And instead of getting all upset about who's talking about you and who did what to you, Thank You Haters helps you to change your mindset or how you view those who are speaking negativity over your life.
Come on now. Thank you, haters.
Right, one of the lyrics in the tune, and it's a 1-minute ringtone, but one of the lyrics says, because of you, I'm rising. Up to the top I go.
Oh my.
Your presence is necessary. So thank you for showing up. Whether depression showed up, whether rage showed, I don't care which hater it was that showed up. Thank you.
Thank you for showing up. Thank you, haters. How I get that ringtone?
Well, it's on Amazon. It's
really?
On
Thank you, haters.
Yes, thank you, haters. It's on Amazon, it's on Rhapsody, it's on iTunes, it's 99 cents. So yes.
All righty then. Now let's go back. We'll start. You're wearing so many hats. You're an author, a mindset coach, a licensed therapist. I'll start with the writing. When did you first realize you wanted to be a writer?
Oh, I've been writing my whole life. My mother died from AIDS when I was 7 years old. And my father died in 2011, but I consistently experienced other losses over my lifetime. And I dealt with depression, but I dealt with the irritability and the immense rage. And so I can remember my grandmother and my great aunt having me write, or I had to look up scriptures related to rage or related to the depression or whatever I was dealing with at the time. I had to look up, what did the word of God say about it? What did God say about what you're dealing with? And a lot of times I had to write. And from there, and from that point, I'm like, I'm always writing something. So I started making stories about things. And I remember all the different papers in school. And many times my grandmother was very encouraging in that area. She said, you know what, Latricia, you're a great writer. And I remember I really wanted to go to college. And she was like, you're going to college, but I can't afford to send you. So you have to figure out how to get there. And I met with my counselor. And the counselor at the time was talking about scholarships and how do you apply for scholarships? Well, you have to write an essay. So she told me about the basic structure of the essays that they're looking for, as far as winning essays, what they're looking for. And after writing those different things out and hearing the different comments from other teachers about writing, I said, okay, you know what? I am pretty gifted at this. I started this agency with a fiance at the time called Surprising Gifts and Creations is what it was called. And we sold poems. Someone would tell me what type of poem they wanted to give to the person they were going to give it to. And I will write that poem in their voice and then, sell the poems. I did graphic design. Well, I wound up raising enough money to be able to pay for my first semester of books in college, and to be able to pay the senior dues and pay for my prom things and all of that. And so from that point, I moved forward, continue to write different things. But as far as that first book, Gate to Life, which was published in 2014, I remember praying, and I remember God saying, it's time to write the book. The title for that book, at first, I had Open Doors. But when I started researching what Open Doors and all the different things that's already available for that, I said, well, Lord, what am I going to talk about in this book? Where there are gates. Okay. So when I thought about my life, there was always a gate presented, which is an opportunity to make a different choice. So you choose the experiences that you desire to experience when you make the right choice. So throughout the book, there's all these different gates whenever I had a point of decision. And then the reader turns to that next page and they can see what consequences did I face from choosing that gate. Because every time we make a decision, there's a consequence. There's attached to it. And so you can choose the type of consequences that you're willing to experience based on which gates you want to access and why. And so Gate to Life is designed to help other youth, especially those who are considered by the CDC. When I looked at what my background lined up with, they said an AIDS orphan, which was basically someone who lost one or both parents due to AIDS before they were 18 years old. Oh, you didn't have to have a disease to have that terminology used to describe your experiences. And so when I looked at that, I said, oh, okay, well, what is that? What happens with these youth? And even now, we don't have enough information available to really talk about what services are available specifically for these youth. How are we tracking, who in the U.S. are considered AIDS orphans, and what are we doing to assist those youth? Because it's a drastically different experience. However, for me, when I thought about those things, I said, well, what can I do that can also help those who are dealing with some of the things, the anger? I wasn't allowed to go to my mother's funeral when she passed. I couldn't go. So I remember seeing her this day and then she's gone the next, and so I never really, well, I have now, but during that time, I hadn't dealt with that abandonment, or I hadn't dealt with that anger and the emotions behind it in an appropriate manner. So a lot of times when we have youth who are, we say they're bad because this kid is fighting all these people here, or this kid is interacting with this stuff here. And really, it's not that the child is bad. Sometimes the child is afraid. When you have really violent youth, a lot of times they're violent because they want peace. And in their mind, the only way to get the peace is if this person is dead and gone, because they've experienced so much pain and suffering, so much stuff that they're in their mind. It's like, I got to get peace by any means necessary. How do I do it? Well, I'm being violent. But if you get someone who can help you with your mindset and you can tap into the royal identity that is available to you, you can shift gears and have a better life. So Gate to Life, you choose the life you shall experience.
And that's kind of where the mindset coach comes in. Now I see where that comes in, because I was wondering how and I kind of even see where the motivational speaker comes in. All this is interwoven into. Yeah. So you were orphaned when you were 7?
Well, yes, but my grandmother raised me. So my mother died when I was 7 years old.
Well, why did they call you an AIDS orphan then? If your grandmother raised you, you raised by a relative.
Because according to the CDC, an AIDS orphan is someone who died who lost one or both parents due to AIDS before they were 18 years old. So I lost my mother due to AIDS before I was 18 years old, and that's where that terminology came from. Now, I believe they've been discussing changing that, though.
They should. I don't.
Yes.
Okay. How long does it take you to write a book? Since you claim you're going to do 3 this year.
I'm doing 3 this year. But you know what? Many of the books I've already been working on.
Okay.
So submitted to the editor. Another chapter that's going to be published in an anthology is also submitted to be released. I believe that the release is about April. Then I have a book that I have one more chapter left to write before I can submit that to my editor.
Wow.
And I have a book that I'm in chapter 1, but I plan to finish writing that one as well. It takes me, some of the books I gave to life, it took me 1.5 years to write it.
Okay.
And because I knew how intense some of the emotional things in that book were going to be, and I knew the purpose behind me writing that book, I made sure I had an accountability partner that would help me during the times in which I no longer wanted to finish it. And so I'm like, okay, I have to pick somebody I trust and who I know has my back in a sense, who I know loves me genuinely. So I picked my sister in Christ. I asked her if she would be my accountability partner. And I remember there was a period, I want to say about 3 months, where I didn't write anything. Because when I started describing the molestation and I started describing other things that I experienced, I said, well, forget this book. I don't want to write anymore. But I will never forget the release, if you will, the healing that took place in writing the story. And so as a mindset coach, I help bereaved Christians regain hope through identity discovery and book development. One reason is because I know healing is in your writing. Healing is in your story. And it's important to get it out.
Just made me think of other things. When you said healing is in the writing, it's like,
It's in the writing. We know, for me, I am Christian, so I know God is a healer, but he also uses methods. There are tools that are available for us, and there are people. A lot of times we act as if we're in a silo, and it's all about us, independent and all this other stuff. But really, we are interdependent. We are depending on one another to progress and succeed. And what do you do when you feel like you're interdependent, but now you're feeling abandoned because you've had great losses? Who is still stable for you to look to for direction? But if your identity is in an unfallible source, your identity is in God,
that's good.
then you always have stability. So that is where developing your royal mindset, your identity comes into play.
Wow. All righty then. What do you like to do when you're not writing?
Oh, when I am not writing, I love to relax by water. I get so many different ideas about things to create, what to write when I'm by water, just looking at the sunlight on the water and the movement of the wind. And when I sit by water, it's relaxing, but it's also inspirational. And I get a chance to. Oh yes. Especially early in the day when you can see the sun being in different areas. And yeah, I love that. Outside of relaxing by water, I love to read self-help books. I write self-help books, but I love to read self-help books as well. I love hanging out with friends and family, just, bowling, different things like that I enjoy doing. Now that we're dealing with COVID-19, I don't go places that I'm not certain people are doing practicing. My husband died from COVID-19 last year in April. We were married for 5 months. And I found out later that I also had COVID during that time in which he was sick. He lived with that virus for 12 days. And so I take it very seriously. All the protocols, the social distancing, all of that stuff is important. I just spent some time with some of my sisters yesterday. 2 of them already had their COVID vaccines, and the 2 of us, we've had it before, have antibodies and all of that. But it's serious. It's serious. There are a lot of people that are not taking it seriously, but I am. So some of the things that I love to do, I have on hold until we get some other things in place where it's more safe to do that.
Wow. What was one of the most surprising things you learned in creating your books about yourself? Did you learn anything?
I did. I learned that I could actually do it. Because in my mind, when I first received the instruction to write a book, so I've never written a book. But because I heard to write the book, I said, well, I can do it. But I couldn't think about it as I'm writing a book. So my mindset, I shifted to, I'm just writing 3 sentences per day. That was the thing that helped me to actually write the first book, was to say, on my calendar, I put a little hash mark every day, did you write your 3 sentences? Like 3 sentences per day. And whenever I wrote at least 3 sentences, I would just check it off.
Wow.
Before the book was finished. But sometimes we don't take that leap to actually write the story because we're looking at it as a mountain when really it's just one step. And if you take those 1 steps every day, you'll accomplish the goal. But if you look at the mountain or you look at the end result and you're afraid of taking that step, you'll never reach it. So it's just 3 sentences per day.
3 sentences rather than be overwhelmed by the mountain. That makes
exactly.
Now you mentioned something I didn't exactly know what it was. You said you wear another hat as a delegate for the city of Westland, Precinct 5. What is that? Is that a political position? What is that?
That was a political position. I did that for 2 years. And it was really interesting. I moved to the city of Westland.
Where's that at? Where's Westland? I don't know.
Westland, Michigan is close to Canton. Okay. I like to say around that was Palmer. Over in that area, you have Westland. And I would say it's a few, maybe about 15, 20 minutes away from the city of Detroit.
Oh, I know. Okay.
It's a suburban area. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I moved to the city of Westland, I went to a meeting and someone said, you know what, you have a lot of ideas.
I bet they did. You're a conversationist. I'm sure they said you got a lot of ideas.
How the better would you consider applying to be a delegate? And a delegate is basically a representative. So you are listening to people's concerns in the area and you're able to attend conventions, so Democratic conventions and things like that, or when there's elections, you would assist with phone calls and those different things. So I was amazed at the process because at first I didn't think I would even get elected as a delegate because I was not politically involved at that time. Mm-hmm. I just filled out this form. But when the card came in the mail and said my name was on the ballot and all this stuff, this is real. This is really happening. Oh my gosh. But yeah, but that was 2 years. And then when I moved back from Westland to Detroit, you have to be in the area where you're the delegate. You should. Okay.
So you're now in Detroit, in the city of Detroit.
Yes, I am.
How is Detroit? My grandmother's from there. We used to go there as kids all the time. How is the city of Detroit? When I was going there years and years and years ago, Detroit was booming. Mm-hmm. Detroit was booming as time progressed. It got more desolate when they took manufacturing away and service took over all the jobs. And Detroit went to almost like Gary, Indiana, Mm-hmm. So how is it now? Are things coming back? When I was there last time, Greektown was it was pretty live. Yes. Jazz fest going on, but is it coming back?
It is. I would definitely say it's coming back. The downtown area is beautiful. They're building housing and that Riverwalk. Again, the Riverwalk, mm-hmm. Yes, has been voted #1 in the country.
Really?
Yes, been voted #1. So I'm excited about that. There's so many improvements happening in the city. There's a lot of land and things that are available for those who are desiring to purchase property. But I'm excited to see the comeback in the city.
It's a beautiful city. I'm excited about that, and I can't wait till things open up. Hopefully, they still have that Jazz Fest downtown.
Yes,
that was like there was nothing like that. That was so that would be good. I can't wait till things open up. I have family still there, so mm-hmm. I'd love to go visit. How did you handle? Oftentimes, when you counsel people, when you motivate other people, no one's motivating you. Mm-hmm. So how did you handle being a newlywed? That just touched me. Being married 5 months and your husband getting COVID and passing. How did you handle that? Who nurtured you?
It was devastating. A month before he passed, my grandmother passed. And this is the grandmother who raised me.
The one who raised you. Oh.
Yes. And the theme of the book is a statement that she said to me all while I was growing up, whenever I was making poor decisions. And so the statement was, don't be stupid all your life. At some point, get a clue. That was her statement. So that's the running theme of the book. And I'll never forget actually saying to her, Grandma, why would you call me stupid? She said, I didn't call you that. I said, don't be. If you did was stupid. And if you keep doing stupid things, people are going to assume that you are stupid. So
She's right. She's right.
yes. So when she passed, I was super hurt, but at the same time, I had more peace because I know how sick she was.
Yeah.
With regards to my husband, I was devastated because we met through Facebook Messenger. We only had one mutual friend in common. He lived out of state. We had a year and a half courtship for a long distance relationship, and then he moved here to marry me. And this was at the height of COVID-19, around as far as March of last year. Mm-hmm. So he moved here to marry me, and we were building our marriage. And when he went to a barbershop and he contracted the virus, and not too long after that, he was gone. And I was super depressed. I couldn't describe the intensity of the depression. I mean, waking up angry and I was angry with God because I'm like, you woke me up. Why? Why am I still here? And it took me to restore, to actually pray and do devotionals and all types of things, and also get my own therapist. Because a lot of times what people fail to do is recognize when you need more help. You can pray, you can worship, you can study the word of God, but there's also, you got to keep in mind, you are more than just spirit. You are also natural. You have a body that you are living in. And sometimes the natural things need to be touched just like the spiritual things. And so when I realized, okay, I need a little more help, I actually reached out to get my own therapist. I stopped counseling. I stopped counseling people at that time because, again, when you are extremely empty, what are you pouring? It's time to be replenished. So I took that time to be replenished, and now I'm able to even write and discuss our story. Where at that time, I remember the news media coming, and I was on David Muir World News about my husband. Mm-hmm. I was on the Tamron Hall show discussing it. And this was right in the heat of everything happening. So I was extremely emotional and breaking down. But the thing that got me through that was I need to get this message across the world so that people can actually practice what's being spoken of so that they can be saved. At that point, it's not just about me. Yes, I'm hurt. I'm going through, but I know if my husband was still here, he would be pushing for me to go ahead and do this. Just like, the fact that he's not here, I still need to go forth because there are lives at stake. And so that's what helped me to actually still tell the story during the greatest need, my greatest need at that time.
Even during your despair, you were still reaching out and helping others.
Yes.
Well, you've told me about being a mindset coach. Tell me what is next for Latresa Rice. Now, because you're doing a whole lot of things. So you need to tell people about your books, how they can get your books. If they want to book you for, a mindset coach session, if they want to book you as a motivational speaker, sooner or later, things will open up. Tell us what's next for you.
Well, definitely, if you would like to book me as a motivational speaker or a mindset coach, with regards to mindset coaching, I have a 90-day royal takeover program, which I'm going to assist you with writing your story and publishing it in 90 days. We're also going to work through your identity, helping you to line those things up. We're also going to work on helping you to effectively declare your story. So being able to engage in public speaking with regards to your story. And so much more. There's a lot of phenomenal aspects to that 90-day royal takeover. I would say just simply send me an email at latresarice@yahoo.com. You can go to my website. It's latresarice.com. You can go there and reach out to me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Goodreads. I'm on all those links. I am Latresa Rice. That is my username. So you can find me on all of those different things.
Okay.
The other books that I have coming out, Burning the Help is going to be amazing. It's with my editor now. Burning the Help is helping new parents avoid burning out their support networks. And if they have burned them out, it will provide resources to extinguish the flames and develop a new support network. So I'm excited about that book. Faith, Failure, Success. Now, I wrote the foreword for the first one. That was awesome. That one became a bestseller. So I'm so excited about that. We are releasing another Faith, Failure, Success. So part 2, if you will.
Really?
Yes. And I wrote a chapter in that book. That is going to be a dynamic book, especially if someone has experienced hardships. And in that book, I'm describing my story with regards to my husband and COVID-19.
Oh, that's...
And so there are some others in that book, powerful people in that book describing how they overcame and how do you go through these types of storms and still come out looking like gold. So I'm excited about that book. That's the one that I was saying we're looking at possibly releasing that April, March, but we're still discussing it. But it is coming out. It's coming, and I'm excited about it. Then the other book, Hurt But Grateful, that is the one where I'm also discussing my process. Well, how did I heal after the loss of my husband? And I'll be sharing different things in there that I have posted on Facebook, that I received a lot of inbox messages about how it blessed the lives of those who are married. It has restored some of those Facebook posts, restored some marriages. And it blew me away because at that time, I was not thinking about writing a book. All I was doing was thinking about a memory between my husband and I. And then I was thinking about a lesson that I learned from that memory. And I just made a post about that. But the inbox messages that were coming through at that time was amazing.
Wow.
So, later on, I've been praying about different things, and that's where I got the instruction that needs to be a book. So that's another book that I'm writing at this time.
You are in everything that you're doing, in writing books, in speaking, in mindset coaching. You're serving. You're always serving. You're so, boy, I am just, wow. You have blown me away. I just thought that you'd come in here, as an author and tell me about some of the books and yada, 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 like generally how they do. But something told me that there was a backstory. I just didn't know what when you sent me your small bio, I said, this is cute, but I know there's a there's something more. I had no idea all this.
Wow.
You're definitely wow. And I'm so glad. I don't know if you heard it, but I started the show off reading a scripture on gifts, and all the gifts that he gave you, you're actually working them as you're supposed to for the better. You're actually filled up and you're giving back. I'm so impressed. I am so impressed. And I want you to come back on, particularly after that next book comes out. I'd be interested. Gosh, I want to read that myself. You are doing a lot of things, lady.
Thank you.
You are doing a lot of things. Man, and I can't believe it's 7 o'clock already. Anyway.
Oh, Janice, I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I probably should have had it where I had you on for an hour and the other person on an hour too. I see what happened. Oh, I see what happened. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay, because you have so much. There were a couple of times you probably didn't know, and some of the things you disclosed, it just stumped me, and I'm like, where do I go? What did she just say that? I mean, it was you, and how you are still shining. Like brand new, untouched is unbelievable. So I am so grateful that you graced our stage and you graced us and came on Intellectual Radio Voices of Change. Thank you so much. Please come back. Please come back. And when I go to Michigan, I got your phone number.
Yes, call me anytime.
whenever things open up. Who knows when they're going to open up? But whenever things open up, it has been a pleasure. I want you to stay safe and keep serving, girl, because you don't even realize the power. Woo! Keep serving. That's all I can say. Have a blessed week, everyone. I'll see you next week at 6 o'clock on the Voices of Change. Latrice Rice, girl, you too much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.